All right, everyone, welcome back. David here again from Become Digital Today. So last time we covered how blocks function, how to put together a typical flow in your stories. And one thing we touched on was collecting information. So if we remember, we offered some service here. We offered chatbots and websites under our services group. So when they answered yes, of course, that brought them to a block. And in this block, it says here, this is great news. Before we get started, I just want to collect some information. So today, I want to cover how to collect that information and where it can go. So let's start with the basics here. You can get their email very easy with just by clicking this button here. So you'll notice here, this is just the default question. You can change this, but it says, please share your email address. You may see a button with a suggested email, or you can manually type one. What that means is that their email is already going to appear. So that's the one attached to their Facebook, and that may not be correct. So it also gives them the option to type their own. Now, if you remember, we talked about attributes before. Here is validation. So that means if they type something that's not an email, it will tell them that it's incorrect. So let's leave the attribute as email. Let's go ahead and collect their phone number as well. So let's go phone. Same thing will happen here. It will suggest a phone number. If it's not right, they can type it. So validation phone number. Now, what if we want to catch other information? Let's go ahead and get input here. So that's this button right next to quick replies, and then get email on the right side. So this is the question that your bot is going to ask. So let's say, what will you be using your bot for? Okay, so after the user types their email, types their phone number, they'll get this question: what will you use your bot for? Now, there's probably no validator for this one, so let's just save it as what is your bot? No validation needed. So what is your bot will be the attribute. Now say we want to, oops, I clicked the wrong button here, sorry. Say we want to capture more information. We'll just go ahead and do that same thing again. And we'll say, when will you need this done by? Okay, so we could put like date. So we can make it as a date so that if they type something that's not a date, it's going to give them an issue. So, and this can go on as many questions as you'd like. I wouldn't recommend putting too many questions in front of people. It's just like forms. If you put a lengthy form in front of someone and they know they don't have to fill it out, they probably are not going to fill it out. So let's go ahead. Now, what happens to these attributes? So these are saved within the bot. And now what we can do, we're going to set up for an email to be sent. So you could say your email. In my case, it's Become Digital. Support at BecomeDigitalToday.com. Now the subject, we might put something like you have a chatbot inquiry from, and then we can do the name. So let's write our email so we could see what happens. So hi there, someone sent an inquiry through your bot. They provided the following information. Okay, so let's go back up here and check out our attributes here. So we'll say they said they can be reached via phone at So we're going to type, oops, sorry. We're going to type phone here. Okay. So then so whatever information they inputted here will then be filled into the email that's going to be sent to whatever email you choose. Okay. So you can also reach them via email at, let's put the email. Okay, so we had a couple. It's very important. Let me just double check this. That I typed the see phone. It's very important that you match the capitalization here, or it won't recognize it. So I do need to go back and put a P here. A tip: if you are having trouble seeing what's underneath in the text box, you can hit Control I and it will expand the box. So now we need to still add what is your bot and date. So let's go ahead and do that. They will be using their bot for the following. Oops. What is your bot? Okay. And then, of course, we want to put the date. They are requesting the bot to be done by okay. So as you see here, here's how our email is going to look. Hi there, someone sent an inquiry through your bot. They provide the following information. They said that they can be reached via phone at, so that's the phone number attribute. You can also reach them via email at email. So that's the email attribute. And then they'll be using their bot for the following. So that's the attribute you put here. What is your bot? They are requesting the bot to be done by date. So that's the date attribute here. So it's pretty straightforward. So when someone sends an email, you will actually get an email to the one you typed here that will have that subject that you typed and all this information. Likewise, there's alternatives. If you're somewhat of a buff, you can use Zapier. You can connect the attributes right to a Google Sheet or maybe even your CRM, so that it's very streamlined and your sales team can pick it right up. Or you can just send the email right to your sales team. So that's all I have for today. Next time, I'd like to go through and maybe test the bot and talk about what it looks like on the front end